Hello students, welcome to AIMS India online classes. This is a science session. Here we are going to discuss about the chapter separation of substances. Earlier we have seen different kinds of mixtures and their separation techniques, and a practice sheet related to that also we have seen. In this session we are going to see Olympiad practice sheet on this chapter. Okay, let us start with the level 1 questions. See the first question here. X is a separation technique based on the difference in weights of these solids in a solid-solid mixture. What is X? So here some separation techniques are mentioned. So the separation technique which is used to separate solid-solid mixture, you have to identify it. See, can we use sieving for solid-solid separation? Of course. And one more hint also it is given here, based upon the difference in the weight. Which technique we use based upon the separation based upon the difference in weight? That is winnowing, isn't it? Because in winnowing, when you pour the mixture of husk and grain from certain height by using a flat pads, what happens? Then lightweight dust particles and husk particles will move away and will form a separate heap, and a heavyweight grain will be forming a separate heap. So in this way, based upon the difference in the weight, those two are separated by using winnowing, isn't it? Yes. Next. So next question, what type of substance is steel? Steel, we know it is formed by the mixture of two or more metals. So now what we can say, generally metals are solids. So we can say steel is a homogeneous mixture of two or more solids, where it is mentioned a solid homogeneous mixture. It is correct. Okay. Next. So the next question. Vinegar is a solution of acetic acid in water. What kind of mixture is vinegar now? We know acetic acid is a liquid and water is also a liquid. When we mix these two, acetic acid will mix thoroughly with the water in the formation of vinegar. Now what kind of mixture is this? It is homogeneous mixture of liquid and liquid. Where it is here. It is a mixture of two liquids. Homogeneous mixture of two liquids. Right? Next one. So the next question. Which of the following separation techniques is used for separating a mixture of two or more gases? Which method we can use for separation of two or more gases? The method used is liquefaction. By liquefying the gases, the one which is having lower boiling point will be liquefied first. At that particular temperature, the other component will be in the gaseous form still. In that way, the liquid component can be separated from that. That method is called liquefaction. Okay. Next. How are grain seeds removed from their stacks? So in the after harvesting the crop, they separate the seeds of grain from the stack by beating that stacks against a rock. That is called threshing. Okay, it's called threshing process. Next, a compound has, what is a compound here? Compound is only one kind of substance which contains only one kind of molecules in it. So it might be made up of two or more different kinds of atoms, but finally it will be having same kind of molecules in it. So that will be, compound will be containing only one kind of molecules in it. So the next question, identify the mixture from the following. See, here some four substances are given. Identify the mixture among these. See, oxygen is a pure gas. It is one of the elemental gas. And carbon dioxide is also a gas which contains only one kind of molecule, CO2 molecules. What about hydrogen? It is also a gas containing only one kind of molecules in it. But what about air? Air is a mixture of several gases. For example, if you say atmospheric air contains different gases like nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, isn't it? These all gases are present in the atmospheric air. So we can say air is a mixture. Next one. Identify the compound from the following. See, which is a compound among these? Same options are given here. Oxygen and hydrogen. These two are elements because they contain only one kind of atoms in them. The substances which contain only one kind of atoms in them are elements. If you see example O, oxygen, its formula is O2, isn't it? Only one kind of atoms are there in it. Even hydrogen molecular formula also H2. It contains only one kind of atoms in it. But air is a mixture. Now if you see carbon dioxide, the formula of carbon dioxide is CO2. It contains two kinds of atoms combined together to form a substance. In that way, the substance formed by the combination of two or more elements combined chemically is called a compound. So carbon dioxide is a compound. Okay, out of this all, carbon dioxide is compound. Next, see the next question. Identify the element from the following. Same substances are given again. Which is an element among these? See, is oxygen an element? Yes, oxygen is an element because just now we told the substance which contains only one kind of atoms in it is called an element. So oxygen has formula O2 which contains only one kind of atoms, oxygen atoms. If you see carbon dioxide, so its formula now we can say O2. Whereas carbon dioxide form molecular formula CO2, so it is a compound. If we see water, its molecular formula is H2O as we know. So it contains two different kinds of atoms combined. So it also comes under compound, not element. What about air? Air is a mixture of several gases. Now only one element among these is oxygen. Next, which of the following is an example of solid in gas mixture? See, soil is a mixture of so many kinds of substances. Solid, liquid, and even gaseous components also live in the soil. So it is not. If we see smoke, yes, smoke contains some dust particles in it or carbon particles in it. So they are solid substances. So solid substance present in the gas. So this comes under example for solid in gas mixture, smoke. Okay, next one. Which of the following does not belong to group formed by the others? See here, four substances are mentioned. One is not related to the remaining group. See what are those? Brass, water, buttermilk, steel. If you observe these all, brass, buttermilk, steel, these are mixtures. Whereas water is the only substance which is a pure substance, isn't it? Water is a pure substance, it is a compound. Whereas steel, brass, buttermilk, these all are mixture of two or more substances. Now we can separate this here. Water is a pure substance, whereas remaining three are a group of mixtures. See the next one. A pure substance is made of. Yes, with which is pure substance made? With only one kind of atoms or molecules. If it is an element, it will be containing only one kind of atoms in it. For example, oxygen, you can say only oxygen atoms will be seen in that. If it is a compound, it will be containing only one kind of molecules. For example, if you say water, it contains only H2O molecules. So these all come under elements and compounds as pure substances. So pure substances made up of only either one kind of atoms or one kind of molecules. See the next. Which of the following statements about a mixture is true? See, some statements are given about mixtures here. See which are correct. This is a pure substance. Is pure substance is mixture pure? No, we cannot say. its constituents are not combined chemically. Yes, the components or constituents of mixture are not combined chemically, just they are mixed each other physically, that's it. That is the correct statement. And its constituents do not retain their individual properties. It is wrong because their properties are retained after mixing also. It is always homogeneous. No, mixtures are generally heterogeneous and homogeneous, both kinds of mixtures available. Now we can say only one correct statement about mixtures is this: constituents are not chemically combined. Next one, in a mixture, constituents exhibit. What do they exhibit? Similar properties, only those properties which are characteristic to the mixture. No, their own properties. So in a mixture, the constituents, they exhibit their own properties because they retain their properties. They won't lose their properties even after mixing also. So they exhibit their own properties. Next one, what is the process by which a gas changes into liquid? What do we call that process? Gas converting into liquid. So this will be happen by cooling. So when a gas is cooled, it converts into liquid. That process is called condensation. Okay, it is called condensation. Next one. What kind of mixtures are alloys? In the earlier questions we have seen, alloys are the mixture of two or more metals. So they contain completely solids. Now we can say alloys are the mixtures of solids, two or more solids. Now we can say solid mixtures. Alloys are solid mixtures. Next one. What kind of mixtures are aerated drinks? What are aerated drinks? The drinks in which certain gases are dissolved into a liquid. For example, soda. Soda contains carbon dioxide gas dissolved in water. So what happened here? Gas dissolved in liquid. Now we can say aerated drinks are gas in liquid mixtures. Where it is gas in liquid. It is that. So aerated drinks come under gas in liquid mixtures. Next one. What happens when distilled water is evaporated? What is distilled water first? Distilled water means the water obtained or collected by the evaporation of water from its mixture or source. So when it is evaporated, only pure water molecules will be evaporated. And then when they are corrected, when they are cooled, we get water which is purest form of water. That purest form of water we call as distilled water that contains no other particles in it. Now, when we evaporate this again, or when you heat this distilled water again, what happens? That will evaporate again, isn't it? That will evaporate, and then what happens? See, options are given here like this. Some salt is left behind, some sand is left behind, some sugar is left behind, nothing is left behind. As we are telling, distilled water is the purest form of water as it contains no other particles. When distilled water is evaporated, nothing is remained or nothing is left behind. Okay, next. X is a separation technique used only when the components of a solid mixture have different sizes. Then what is that X? So X is a separation technique used to separate two solids which are having difference in their sizes. So generally the separation technique used based upon the difference in the sizes of the components is, what is it? Sieving, isn't it? So the insects and some dust particles, whatever are there in the floor, or grains if they are in that floor, these all will be separated from the floor by sieving it. So big sized particles will remain in the siever, small sized floor particles all will come down. So their size difference is used in sieving process. Okay, next one. Given below are some methods of separation. What are those? Winnowing, threshing, sieving. These methods are given. Which of the following methods of separation does not require air for the process of separation. So air is needed for the separation of certain mixtures. The technique used with the help of air is winnowing, isn't it? What they do in the winnowing process, they take the mixture of grain and husk into a wide flat plates. They pour this mixture from certain height down. Then, because of wind blowing, lightweight husk particles move away. Heavyweight grain particles will come down directly and form a heap. In this way, those mixture components are separated by using air blow. But in the threshing and sieving, they won't take the help of air, isn't it? So what they're asking here, which it does not require air. What are those two? Y and Z do not require air for that separation of components. Only in winnowing process, air is needed. Okay, next. How is scrap iron separated from other wastes in scrapyard? So in a scrapyard, there might be iron scrap along with other non-magnetic substances. So this iron scrap can be separated from that mixture by using a powerful magnet. The technique we call as magnetic separation. Next one. Which of the following mixtures can be separated by using a filter paper? Yes, filter paper we can use for the separation of a liquid and an insoluble solid substance from it. See where it is that kind of mixture here in the sea. Isn't it? Here we can see sand and water. Where sand is insoluble into water, hence it can be separated by using filter paper. Isn't it? Yes. Next one. Study the table given below. So two kinds of mixture they have mentioned. So the wanted particles and unwanted particles from the mixture also mentioned here. Wheat flour if you take. So from the wheat flour, we need or we want flour. Then when you separate by using sieve, we get a certain husk from that wheat flour, isn't it? And they mentioned one more mixture here, Y. So from that, grain seeds are needed and stacks are separated. So what might be that mixture? It's paddy or cut paddy, isn't it? So X will be now unwanted husk, and Y the mixture of these two will be cut paddy. So here it is correct answer. Next question. Which process is used to separate a pure solid from a solid liquid solution? So for the separation of a pure solid from solid liquid solution, we can use distillation process, crystallization, filtration, sedimentation, decantation. So out of these all, the better one is a simple distillation process because they did not mention as they have mentioned here as solid so liquid homogeneous mixture. They mentioned here solution. So filtration cannot be used there. Even sedimentation, decantation also cannot be used. Out of these two, simplest one is simple distillation process. By that we can get pure liquid as well as solid separated. Okay, next one. Which process is used for separating a mixture of water and sulfur? Water and sulfur we know they form an insoluble solid liquid mixture. Now the insoluble solid sulfur can be separated from water by filtration. Okay, by filtration we can separate simply. Even though we can use this distillation process also, but filtration is much easier than that because distillation needs heating, cooling and dissolve. But filtration is easier process. By that we can get water and sulfur separated. Right? Next one. Which of the following are involved in filtration technique? So what happens in the filtration technique? Insoluble solid substance is separated from a liquid component. So where it is hair in our nostrils. Yes, hair in our nostrils will filter the dust particles present in the air which we inhale. That is needed actually. oil and air filters in cars. Yes, oil and air filters will filter the unwanted impurities present in the air as well as oil. And even the third one you see air filters and air conditioners. Yes, these air filters also will filter the dust particles entering into the air conditioners. So in these three processes, filtration process is happening. We use it, isn't it? So all of these. Next one. What process is used for separating heterogeneous mixtures of insoluble solid and liquid mixture? So, if it is heterogeneous insoluble solid liquid mixture, that we can be separated by filtration process easily. That insoluble solid substance will be remained on the filter paper, that liquid will come down, isn't it? So, filtration. Next one. Study the information given below. Some substances are made up of two or more elements combined chemically. Properties of these substances are different from the elements that make them. These substances cannot be broken down by physical methods. If you observe, these all are the properties of compounds, isn't it? They are telling substances or elements are combined together. This happens only in the formation of compounds. Now, if you observe, out of the four substances given, which is a compound? We know iodine and calcium are elements, isn't it? These two are elements. Whereas air is a mixture of several gases. The only one, sugar, is a compound. So in this, elements are combined chemically to form sugar, and these cannot be separated by physical means. So sugar is the only substance which satisfies these all properties. Okay. Next one. Which process takes place in washing machine while clothes are being dried? So while clothes are being dried, there we know if we observe clothes will be revolved, whirled at very high speed. Because of the high speed, the droplets of water will be thrown away and hence clothes will be dried. So that process is called centrifugation. Okay, centrifugation. Next one. By which method is wheat flour separated from wheat bran? Wheat flour is separated from wheat bran by the process called winnowing. That wheat flour along with wheat bran is blown from certain height. There, the wheat bran lightweight particles move away along with the wind. So wheat will be formed separate heap. In this way, that will be separated by using winnowing process. Next one. Which of the following is not a pure substance? Observe here the substances given. Argon is a pure substance and it is an element. Helium is also one of the pure element. Water is a pure compound, whereas air is a mixture of several gases. So it is not a pure substance. It is a mixture. Okay. Next one. The substance which contains only one kind of molecules is called. What do we say? The substance which contains only one kind of molecules is a compound or a pure substance. Isn't it? The substance which contains only one kind of molecules is a pure substance. Next one. Which one of the following methods is used for separating wheat from their husk? Again, the same question it is asked here. So, from the husk, wheat can be separated by using winnowing process because of their difference in their weight. Okay, winnowing. Next one. Which one of the following methods is used to add weight to the fine solid particles so that they can easily settle down? Yes, it is called a loading process. Actually, this is generally used for purification of water at cities and dissolve. For the separation of these dissolved solid particles, they add some chemicals like alum. So these will be added to the dust particles and some other impurities present in the water. So they become heavy and slowly they will settle down. That process of separation is called loading. Okay. Next, tea leaves are separated from tea using a tea strainer. This method of separation is known as, what do we call this process? So they take these tea leaves along with the tea and they pour through a tea strainer. So pure decoction of tea will come down and will be collected into one container. Those tea leaves will be remained in that strainer. This process is called filtration, isn't it? It's called filtration. To obtain salt from seawater, which one of the following methods is used? Yes, how can we separate salt from seawater? The only method used there it is evaporation. By evaporation, sea water will be evaporated, salt will be remained back as crystals. That process is called evaporation. Next one. Which one of the following is an example of heterogeneous mixture? Which one of these is heterogeneous mixture? Milk, blood, air, and muddy water. Yes, here muddy water is there. It is a heterogeneous mixture because it may be made up of dust particles, water, and mud. These all. Okay, it is heterogeneous. Small particles of stone are separated from grains by the method of. Yes, small particles of stones are separated by hand picking. This we observe in our homes also by our mothers. Before cooking, they separate small stones from the rice by hand picking method. Isn't it? Yes. Next one. Which method is used to separate the mixtures whose component are of different sizes? So the components, if they have different sizes, then they can be separated by using the technique called sieving. So what happens when the mixture is poured through a siever, the small sized particles will come down, bigger sized particles will remain in the siever. Isn't it? That process is called sieving. Next one. Which of the following processes is used to remove stone from wheat? So even from the wheat also stones are separated by using hand picking process, just like the how stones are removed from rice. Next one. Which method will be used to remove tea leaves from brew? So tea leaves are removed from decoction or brew by the process called filtration. Isn't it? Filtration. Next. Which method is used to separate heavier and lighter components in a mixture by wind? Yes, when a mixture of which contains heavier and lighter particles, if it is thrown or if it is made to fall from certain height, then heavier particles will fall down directly and they form a heap. Lighter weight components will be blown away and form separate heap. That process is called winnowing. Yes. Next one. The process that we use to separate grain from stacks. Yes, after harvesting, these stacks are beaten against a hard solid like rock or some bench. Then these grains will be separated from the stack. That process we call as threshing. Next one. The machine used for carrying out the process of threshing is called thresher. Okay. Even instead of beating the stacks against hard rocks, nowadays they are using certain machines also for that. That's called thresher. Now let us say level 2 questions. See the first one here. What is true about the given figures? Say two boys are here, A and B. They are drinking something. In the first one, he is drinking juice. In the second picture, the boy B inhaling air. Now let us see options given. In B, the boy is taking solution. Boy is taking suspension in both. In B, the boy is taking in a natural mixture. The boy in the both the figures, the boy is taking natural mixture. Which is correct among these all? See here in the B, the boy B is taking a natural mixture, isn't it? Yes, air is a natural mixture. We didn't prepare that. It is already there in the atmosphere, which is a natural mixture of several gases. But this juice is man-made. So only this is correct. In B, the boy is taking in a natural mixture air. That's correct. Next one. Figure shows that. What does it show? What they are doing here? They have taken a torch, they switched it on, and they kept a paper. What's happening then? Light is not being passed through the paper. Now what we can say this paper? The substances or the material which do not pass light through them are called opaque material. Now I can say this paper is a opaque material because it is not passing light through it. Right? Next one. The figure shows the process of filtration. In it, X and Y are respectively. Where the X and Y? See, they have taken a mixture of insoluble solid in a liquid. They have poured this through. They have poured this through filter paper, which is taken in a funnel. Now, pure liquid is coming down into the beaker, so taken down, and this insoluble solid substances remain here. So this insoluble solid substance remained in the filter paper is called residue. So X is residue. Okay. And the pure liquid obtained into the other container, into the beaker, that is called filtrate. So Y is called filtrate. The pure liquid obtained in the filtration process is called filtrate. So X is residue, Y is filtrate. Here it is respectively here. Okay, next one. Nisha poured a mixture of salt, iron fillings, sand, and flour into a container. Which of the following substances can be separated from the mixture by using a magnet? So, by using a magnet, we can separate the components which are magnetic in nature. So, out of these four components mixed, which are being magnetic in nature, we know the iron fillings. They stick to the magnet. So they can be separated by using a magnet. Iron fillings can be separated. Next, the equipment shown here can be used to separate. So what is this technique called by using this instrument done? That is called filtration. So in filtration, we can separate a mixture of insoluble solid and liquid. A mixture of salt and pepper cannot be because both are solids. A mixture of pepper and water can be separated. Yes. If we take a mixture of pepper and water, pepper is insoluble into water. So when you pour the mixture of those two, pepper will be remained in this filter paper here. Pure water will be collected down here. Okay, into the container. So a mixture of pepper and water can be separated. Next, the given figures show which of the following process. What they are doing, see here, a liquid is taken into a beaker and a insoluble solid is poured into that. What is happening after a certain time? That insoluble solid is settled down. That settling down of insoluble solid substance in a liquid when it is allowed to stand for some time is called sedimentation. The settling down of insoluble solid down in a liquid is called sedimentation process. Okay. In which of the following cases drying of handkerchief will be at faster rate? So they have taken two kerchiefs the same size, the same wetness, and it is taken onto the cut here hanger with foldings. The other one is kept without any foldings spread over. Now, which will be dried faster? Which will be dried at faster rate? Which one? B, because its complete surface is being kept open. So from all the parts, water will be evaporated at the same time. But if you see the first one, it is folded. From the inner layers, water will be evaporated at slow. So for drying of this kerchief A, time will be taken. More time will be taken than that of B. So it will be dried faster rate. That is B. B will be dried faster because it is completely kept open without any foldings. Now the next one. Couple observed water droplets on the outside of a glass of cold water. The water droplets come from. Yes, this we also can observe. You take a glass of chilled water or the water with ice cubes. If we keep that water glass outside on the table for some time, then after a few minutes, if you observe on the outer surface of the glass, we can see some droplets of water. From where the water droplets are coming? Are they coming from inside the glass? Are there any holes to the glass? No, it is not happening. But how then? That is because of the water vapor present in the air. That water vapor, when touches this cool parts of this glass, cool surface of the glass, immediately it condenses and converts into droplets of water. Those are being formed on the outer surface of glass. So that is because of the water vapor in the air. Actually, this proves the presence of water vapor in the air. Okay. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our YouTube channel AIMS Today for latest updates on recorded videos.